Hey, get money all day, get money all night. Sip my drink, ho, let's get right. Getting paid, I'm getting paid. Roll one up, let's catch this flight. Pour another cup, ho, let's get right. Getting paid, I'm getting paid. Hey, it's your boy Tight. Can't say the Tight without the 1205. Know I'm talking about. But you tuning in with Ray Ray's podcast. Kicking my boy Ray, the toxic mommy Victoria, and my dog G-Ray. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Hey everybody, what's up? We're back. Another edition of Ray Ray's podcast. Hope everyone is having a great day so far. Hope you're having a great week. Hope you set some goals and you're crushing them. Thank you for rocking with us again. You know, we're back here at Hello Studios on the 9th floor. Beautiful downtown Dallas. Traffic is really light so far. Probably later on today, it's probably be really heavy, because downtown Dallas, all the construction and people from California that can't drive. Ooh. If you're from California, I'm sorry. I'm telling the truth.
Bro, I got my reservations about these. No, I'm keeping it to myself right now.
And speaking about driving, I don't know if, for this younger generation, I don't know if your parents taught y'all. If somebody lets you over, give a courtesy wave. Just wave, just say, hey, just acknowledge, hey, thank you for letting me over. People just be so rude.
Bro, there's a whole episode on Seinfeld about that, where he literally chases somebody down who didn't give him a thank you wave. And then for the entire episode, he's chasing them. It's hilarious.
Man, I want to do this sometimes. And the worst is also like when you open the door for someone and people don't have to say thank you. That like drives me crazy. Like, just say thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
It's like that, man.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I hate that too. Like, they see you open the door for them and holding for them. They walk right past you and don't say not a thing. I'm like, wow. Is that what we're coming to?
Yeah.
Is that what we're coming to as a civilization?
Courtesy, please. Courtesy, please, guys.
And put your blinker on. Please put on your blinker. I will not stress this enough. Put your blinker on. Again, thank you for everyone that's been supporting us and listening to the show. We've been mentioning here the last few weeks a 2-year anniversary tour. We've got a lot of guests that are going to be coming back. We're going to be revisiting with them and catching up with them, seeing what's been happening in their life since the last time, since we had them first on Ray Ray's podcast. Mm-hmm. Like I said, we started 2 years ago. We got some amazing content we've been filming, so go check all that stuff out. RayRaysPodcast.com. I'm going to stress it until I'm blue in the face. Go to the website. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please, people, go do that. That helps us spread this amazing show to other people in the world. Mm-hmm. Please, please, please do that. You love us, show us some love, and do that. We greatly appreciate that. Whew. I feel like there was a lot to talk about for a second.
It was.
I feel like I got a woosah. Woosah. Remember off of Bad Boy 2, the woosah? I feel like I got a woosah. But so let's woosah here. And also, let's get people's week and their day started off on the right foot here, all right? So, everyone know we like to do this. Start the show off with some positive words and sayings, some things that help you reset your mind when things are going wrong. So, if you say stuff and you put it out in the universe, it's going to be out there in the universe. It's going to come back and it's going to manifest. So, we're going to manifest and we're going to speak some affirmations, okay? So, in case no one told you today, you're beautiful, you're loved, you're needed, you're alive for a reason. Hey, you're stronger than you think. You're gonna get through this. Hey, we're glad you're alive. Don't give up, all right? So take those words, man. Just saying them. Just saying them makes you feel better just by saying them. You may not even believe it when you're saying it, but the more you hear it, the more you're gonna believe it. So just keep those positive words in your mind. You're gonna get through this. We love y'all. Thank y'all for supporting us, and we want to support y'all. So if you need anything, reach out to either one of us. RayRaysPodcast.com, Instagram. Just reach out, and we got y'all. Whew. All right. That was that. Doesn't it always like it gives you the jitters. It's kind of like just set you off right. Now, we had something positive. Now I got to say something negative. I had my positive moment. I got to say something negative. And I hope the person I'm about to talk about, I hope you're watching this. Get a close up on it. I hope you're watching this. All right. It is very, very, very upsetting. It's very, very upsetting that the NFC is becoming garbage, and the Cowboys don't have enough cap space to capitalize on it. So whoever's running the cap, I want you to watch this. You got Bobby Wagner out there. You got Pro Bowl guards out there. Guys we need on this team, but we can't afford it. Because you can't manage the cap, because you're not to pay your running back almost $20 million. You don't pay running backs $20 million unless it's Barry Sanders. You don't pay no running back $20 million. Come on, man. Like, that's bad financial advice right there. Whoever told you to do that, that's a bad experience. Instead of us waking up to good news about cap space and waking up to about illegitimate babies and things and nonsense we should be hearing about with the Cowboys. It's been 26 years. I want a championship, damn it. I want it. I want it now. We're not the Seahawks. We're better than that. We're better than the Seahawks.
Why you gotta be so nasty, Ray?
We got a franchise quarterback, unlike the Seahawks.
We
got a Pro Bowl linebacker, unlike the Seahawks.
Oh my God, man.
We got
Drew. We got Drew Lock. All right. We got Gucci. Well, we got Drew Lock. What's that? He was singing to that song. Shorty Low. Shorty Low. Drew Lock, man.
Damn.
Oh my God.
Damn.
It's tough times.
It is tough times out there. Come on, Dallas, get together. The fact that we have to trade Amari Cooper or cut Amari Cooper because you cannot manage your cap. That's terrible.
All right,
but
I can't do no more football talk. No more football. I can't do it no more. I can't handle it.
Own up to your kids too out there. If you got a kid out there, you're not claiming.
Oh God.
Own up to your kid too. For all people out there.
Oh my God.
I's the pappy.
Who's the pappy?
I's the business pappy. You gotta add that clip in there. Oh my God. I's the pappy.
Who pappy is this?
Oh my God.
All right. Hey, man, but we got a great show.
Oh, my God.
Planned for y'all. But, Rock, what's going on in the world of pop culture and things of that nature?
Well, essentially, as you heard, really the only news going on lately is football, NFL, right? As you mentioned, Seahawks got rid of Russell Wilson, traded him, also cut Bobby Wagner, and then there's a lot of ruffles going. This is for those, I keep talking about it because that's my team, all right? There's been a lot of ruffles about Pete Carroll and his position, and a lot of these Seahawks players talking a lot of mess about him right now. So we'll see where this goes. I don't know, but it's a little upsetting. I'm beside myself right this time. Probably gonna go through a drought, so we'll see.
I mean, in all honesty, y'all had a decade.
Y'all
pretty decade. Solid. You're pretty solid for a decade. 2 Super Bowls you went to?
Yeah.
Should have won 2 Super Bowls.
No, okay, let's go on. Well, no,
y'all should have had 2 Super Bowl victories, but your coach decided to pass it on the goal line. But hey,
all right.
I mean, I don't know if I was playing Madden, halfback dive, halfback dive, halfback dive.
I heard you, man. I heard you.
So let me talk to you guys about this guest, man. We got a really amazing guest. He's also got a little affiliation with football too, so it kind of works. Kind of works in here. All right, so we have a gentleman named Paul Salfen here with us. He's based out of Dallas. He's a TV host, producer, Inside Entertainment. He's a host and producer on that show, correct?
Yeah, I was for quite a while. And right now, well, actually, gosh, for the last 9 years, I've been working with Drew Pearson.
Drew Pearson show,
Speaking of the Dallas Cowboys, I was going to chime in with my Uncle Jerry impression. But.
Well, tell Jerry here. Well, first off, welcome, Paul, to the show. Everyone, let's give him warm warmers. Ray Ray's podcast.
Thank you, man.
Oh, look at that.
Hey, we're definitely humbled by your presence. I just want to let you know, man. Thank you so much for coming.
I'm happy to be here with you guys.
Sorry, I had to let that rant go. I was just mad. Like, I went home and I was on my way driving home when we left the studio, and I hear the radio about this alleged child incident, and I go to sleep and I wake up.
That's actually me, the child. Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe it. So, though you got this impression, I want to hear this.
I don't know you. I ain't seen you before. I don't know you, money.
No, it's funny watching Jerry Jones do his press conference. Like, he talks with his hand, and what we're gonna do is, and he says a lot. I notice it.
Yeah.
That Arkansas boy in him, but Man, that's crazy times. Well, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me.
So glad you came to stop in to our little humble abode we have here in
I
Hello
love this.
Studios on our ninth
Beautiful
floor.
view of our city. I love it.
Yeah, it's amazing. We were on the 18th floor prior, and man, that was a really amazing view. But hey, we had to expand.
They
We got
get more
bigger.
space.
So, but it's got us a lot more room and more space here, and we love it. All right. So, for those of you who are familiar with the show, Paul, it's your first time being in the show. We have a little segment. It's called
Slow down. I just wanna get to know you.
Slow
right.
Down. We just want to get to know you.
All right.
Hey, we're gonna ask you some kind of random questions. Really don't have anything to do with anything. Just random, quick fire questions. Just
Sure.
kind of get familiar with you, and we'll just see where it goes from there. Okay.
All right, let's
So
do it.
again, let's remind the people who you are, what it is that you do, and where they can find you on social media.
Yeah, so I'm Paul Salfen, and I co-host and produce Drew Pearson's show, which is now the Ultimate Hail Mary, where we go through his entire career from the first time he picked up football to all the way to the Hall of Fame. And we went to the Hall of Fame with him, which is really cool. And a little bit later today, I'll be at the airport with him for the. He's got a restaurant and bar out there, which he would not like it if I don't plug it. So that's
Nice.
Drew Pearson's 88 Sports 88 Bar and Grill, and it's in Terminal E. By gate E5. And let's see what else.
Which airport?
DFW.
DFW, okay.
Yeah. And let's see what else. Writing edit for AM/FM Magazine, and I do the Movie Minute on KLAK every week. Part of the Critics' Choice Awards, and I should say we got our Critics' Choice Awards this weekend in LA, so I'll be
Awesome.
there.
Awesome.
Trying to clean up, trying to not look like a thumb. And, it's hard. And what else? I don't know. I kind of say yes to everything. I'm just
Yeah.
a talking monkey. They hand me a mic and I just, start picking bugs off of people. It's perfect. I'm trying to get on that geo.
Okay. Since you just spoke about Drew Pearson,
Yeah.
man, it had to be hard for him
man.
all those years of knowing he deserved it. Being on the all-decade team
Yeah.
for that year and just still getting bypassed. And were you with him those couple of times where he was like waiting to hear his name? Like, I saw that video. I can't remember from a
Yeah.
couple of years ago. That was
hard.
That was rough. That was
Yeah.
rough to see.
Yeah, it was hard because, it's one of those things. It's like the last thing that he had on his list to do, and then, he's happy to retire and, do other ventures or whatever. But, he kept losing friends and family members, and he just wanted his kids and his grandkids to see him go in, and he'd like to see it while he's alive,
Yeah, exactly.
And so, everybody kept going, oh, you're going to get in, you're going to get in. And, the problem is like a lot of the voters are sports writers, and they get younger and younger and younger. And he hasn't played in a long time,
yeah.
and they just weren't as familiar, But then what happened is, we all saw he didn't get called,
Yeah.
But what that did is that caused a big outrage.
Yeah.
Even Stephen A. Smith, who hates the Cowboys, came
Yeah.
to his defense, know. And by the way, Stephen, if you're listening, Cowboy Super Bowl. Those are the 3 words he hates the most. Anyway, so it's wild though. He was just so upset, and we weren't filming that day. I guess he had everybody else there.
Yeah.
And then I saw him after that, and I go, this might be the greatest thing. And I know this sounds terrible, but you just everybody just got reminded about your greatness by everybody.
Yeah.
Sports writers, Michael Irvin went crazy. Michael Irvin hadn't said anything really, and he's a big fan of Drew's.
Yeah.
And then he just went on one of those great Michael Irvin rants, and that you hear in the club sometimes. No, he is, and it was just so cool to see everybody just talk about how important he was, and it kind of lifted him up.
Yeah.
And then they kind of had to do it.
Yeah.
And the other thing was he was going to go in as a group class. It was kind of like one of those when you graduate and everybody at the class of 2000 whatever stand up, and now you get to go in individually as he should.
Yeah.
And it was a fun process just to watch him do the whole thing to decide how much material they needed for the proper fro on his bust, and that kind of stuff. It was great. He's like, no, there's not enough fro. I had the biggest fro in the NFL, and that kind of stuff was so cool, and he's just, and he is seriously one of the nicest guys. I know there's there's stories about players all the time, but he's just like I've never seen him turn anyone down for a picture, an autograph, where it doesn't charge anything. If somebody brings him a football, he's gonna sign a football. If somebody brings him a jersey, so he's take a picture, and he lets everybody wear a Super Bowl ring, which is
I've
crazy.
seen that. I've seen that. Yeah.
Wow.
Even though someone dropped it and one of the diamonds popped out.
Oh no!
He still lets people wear. I'm like, yeah. And I was like, man, you're too nice. I don't know that I want everybody wearing it. And he's just been amazing to work with. And so now, he's coasting.
Yeah. But I'm going to ask you a question about
Yeah.
this. Speaking on that, the whole thing for him getting the Hall of Fame, I feel like some of these writers are getting too much power.
Oh,
I don't think
yeah.
some of those guys should be voting to get people in the Hall of Fame. We saw the whole thing with, the Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens are not eligible now for the Hall of Fame anymore. And I tell you, the one that really upset me recently was DeMarcus Ware should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. How he not went in because these gatekeepers want to make it more harder for people coming in on the first time, which is absolutely stupid. His career for itself, he's like number 6 in all NFL time, for all-time leader in sacks, and won a Super Bowl. Like, I don't get it. All pro multiple times. What else is a credential to get in the Hall of Fame? Let me know, because obviously I'm missing something. Right? It's just mind-boggling. Like, for instance, and I tell you one that really made me mad. Ken Griffey Jr. should have been a unanimous decision.
Oh, yes.
Across the board. One idiot out there was like, no, he doesn't need to go to the Hall of Fame his first year. I'm like, idiot.
Wow.
You're an idiot. Hey, if you're the person that voted that, you're an idiot. Hope you're watching this right now. I like to stay positive, but you're a moron for doing that. Ken Griffey Jr. had the sweetest swing of all time.
Yeah.
You can't. I could sit there and watch him hit the ball all day, every day. That guy was just amazing. Let me get on, because
Well, no, it's like that in all those
Yeah.
things. So, like Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, there's so many people that don't get in, and just year after year, they're just either turned down or ignored. And, it's like, whoever is voting, and a lot of it is like writers, people from Rolling Stone or whatever, and they just don't. And they have they have a special bias towards like heavy metal groups. And so there's like, somebody like Judas Priest or something like that is, on the ballot every year. Every year they get ignored. And it's just at this point, they're just like, it's all right,
Yeah.
And Kiss, those kind of people. And then they finally had the fan vote, which is something I think like, that would be really good for the football thing.
I don't know about that, though.
It's kind of tough because the fans voted in Andrew Wiggins over Luka Doncic.
Yeah, I was like, man, I don't know about that. Yeah, that was.
I think you've got to have somebody that's really good at statistics and analytics and stuff to put some kind of like equation together to factor in the fans and the writers. So, but I don't know. I'm not the expert.
Yeah, I know. It's every place has this
Yeah.
problem. I've worked with do some stuff with the Grammys, and I was voting at one point. And it's just like, you just don't know. And so, some of the people, like with Critics' Choice, like we're fine, but like the Golden Globes, and now everybody knows. But there's people who have not written anything in like 20 years, and they're just on there for life. They don't even watch them, and they're just kind of like, wow, I like Tom Cruise. Like you're like, what? Come on,
need to watch it.
See them. He didn't even have a movie this year.
All right. So speaking on the subject of movies, all right. So if there was a movie about you, who would you want you to star as you in that movie?
Wesley Snipes. I got him.
Oh my God.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop fucking lying.
I can
All
see
right, so
I can see it.
There's look at the chin. Look at the ears. Come on. Actually,
Hey, that's almost as bad as Flex Alexander playing Michael Jackson. Have y'all seen that? I hope you
my
put that
God,
picture
man.
up of Flex.
Oh, man.
Who in their right mind thought Flex Alexander, darker than me,
Oh my God.
tall as hell, can play little short Michael, light skinned Jackson?
Bro.
Someone in Hollywood tell me that. Call me. Let me know the explanation on that, please. All right.
So there actually is a funny story behind the Wesley Snipes answer. So people always come up to me and they go, I know you. And I was like,
Yeah.
no, I don't. They're like, no, you're in the movies or you're on TV. Like, oh, I know who you are. And it's always the same people. It's usually the singer of Coldplay, you know, or David Duchovny from Californication.
Yeah.
Or every once in a while, like a
I can see that.
Jimmy Fallon if they're drunk, you know. But, you know, I go, I know, like now I stop them, I go, I know what you're going to say. It's not me. But Wesley Snipes. Sometimes they pause. They're like, you know, wait, no. And so about a year and a half ago, guess who I ran into?
Wesley
Snipes.
And I go, and we'd met before, but I was like, hey, man, I got to tell you something. And he's like, yeah. And I go, so sometimes people say, you know, I go, you know who you look like? And he usually say, he goes, you do look like the guy from Coldplay. You know, I was like, oh, okay. I go, no, I say Wesley Snipes. And he stops, and he looks at me, he goes, does it work? And I go, yeah. I go every time. He goes, keep doing it.
Okay.
So that was fun.
All right. One or two more questions in this slow down segment.
Yeah.
All right. So, if you had a warning label on you, what would it say?
Oh, that's a great one. Wow, a warning label on me. Don't light a match? I don't know. Warning label. Like try to keep up with me. You know, I mean, I just don't stop. You know, like I work, and like because what I do is fun.
Yeah.
You know, but most girls that I've dated, girlfriends, I'd be like, I cannot keep up with you.
Wow.
Cannot go to 3 shows and I can't go to 4 clubs. I can't just just keep doing this. So unfortunately, I wear people out.
Oh, man.
All right. So, last question
All right.
on this one, and we're gonna dive into some good stuff here. Okay.
All right.
So, if you were a superhero, what superpower would you want?
You know, I thought invisibility, right? Because I thought, wouldn't that be great to be able to just kind of, slip in wherever and just kind of check things out, and maybe you could work your way into like some really cool rooms and just kind of hear what people say. But then I thought, man, wouldn't that be lonely though? Or like if you heard the nonsense that people talk about each other or other people, like it probably would make you sad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if I could make myself invisible and walked out of whatever, it'd be like, man, that guy's terrible. He smells, you'd probably just get all in your head because you'd hear too much. So probably flying, especially with the problem with Dallas traffic.
Oh, Jesus. And gas.
And if gas prices. Boy.
Yeah. Just throw on the cape.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So let's dive in a little bit deeper here with you, Paul. All right. So first off, why don't you tell us where are you from, man?
Well, let's see. I was born in Clarksdale, Mississippi. But I am the home of the blues. But I am from Philadelphia.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Don't hold that against me.
Oh.
But kind of half there, half here outside of Austin. Like I live sort of half and half. But I went to high school and or middle school, high school, and college in Philly. So I kind of feel like, that's where I learned to drive, learned how to play guitar, all that stuff. And I first started interviewing people. So that's where I feel like I'm from. Yeah.
Okay.
It's but I'm happy to be here. It's so much better here.
So tell us about that first interview you did. Walk us through that.
Man, okay. So did you ever have a broadcasting class in school?
In high school,
Okay.
yep.
Man, it's like a prison TV on the corner of the wall, and just the worst, like just kids like, today it's in the news, and kind of looking, and and so I always thought I'd be behind the camera, or work at soundboard, even though I didn't know how to do that. But they put me in front of the camera, and I don't know if it was to make fun of me or what, but like I kind of like long hair, I was like sleepy, and they made me do the weather. I was a worse weather guy, so I was that guy that was like, today it will be 70 and just the worst. And so we had to do our special segments, and the teacher goes, he's very dismissive. He's like, wow, you like music, go talk to some bands, and literally like waved me off. And I was like, okay. So we took the big clunky cameras and we went downtown in Philadelphia to the Trocadero, which is like the big flag, is like the bomb factory. Just knocked on the back door and was like, our show sucks, will you be on it? Sure, kid. And we just kept doing it, and it just kept working. All these like big bands, like Megadeth and Stone Temple Pilots, and all these things, and not one said no. They're just like, all right, And the bass player Stone Temple Pilots says, "Will you ever Ever been backstage? Well, no. He said, come on. Ever been on a bus? Go on.
Wow.
You want to see how I got to do another interview. You want to see how it goes?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And just kind of took me under his wing. And it was great because had any of those guys or those guys just been jerks or just been like, no, call my manager, then I probably wouldn't do this. But I was like, wow, this is so much fun. So I bring the collection of segments back, and the teacher smacked his head. He goes, I met bands in the school. Oh. And I was like, oh.
You didn't specify it.
And I was like, oh. He goes, but good job. I don't know how you pulled it off.
See, when I was in broadcasting, early 2000s, I don't know, 2002, 2003.
Then the analog time.
Calm your nerves real quick. So back when editing videos and setting your cameras, you had to make sure that the light was right, make sure it was cleared out and everything. We used to use a program called Casablanca or Abacus. We used to had to have the VHS machine plugged into the computer. It was very complicated.
At least you had that. We had like a little cloth and a crank. Here's how it's going to go. All right, put the words underneath the screen. No, but yeah, it was so primitive back then. But also, like, that's how it kind of worked in my favor. Because now these guys would be like, no, we don't have an interview. Then they're like, oh, we do? Yeah, sure. All right, sit down. And there's so much of it I think we got away with just because of the time.
The time, yeah.
They're like, did you send in your request? You're supposed to send it to Atlantic Records and this floor. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a lot of red tape. Not going to say the company name right now. I'm trying to get certain people from a certain company that's going to be here for a certain big week in Dallas coming up. So... it's like, oh, you got to send it to this person. Oh, you got to send it to this person. So it's kind of like, it's a little strategy kind of you got to do to it. But hey, all I can tell people is keep shooting your shot. You never know who's gonna say yes.
Shoot, like I see it myself now. Like Kevin Hart, like he will stop dead in his tracks. And like he has a big group that he travels with, and I've seen people like stop him and be like, hey, can you say something on it? Yeah. I'm like every time. The Rock, like one of the nicest people. I guarantee you, if you're like, they're like, oh no, you got to talk to the manager. He's like, I got you. Come here. What do you want to know?
Yeah.
And I've had that good fortune with like a lot of people. And so it still exists.
Yeah.
But you have to have like the nerves, to be able to just roll up to like The Rock or like to Kevin Hart and his entourage and be like, hey, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
But a lot of I think what you're talking about, a lot of the people from that organization, the actual like talent or athletes or whatever, they're really nice.
I remember the first celebrity that told me no. It was circa 2010. I was doing video hosting for Jamie Foxx party.
Yeah.
Here, he was on tour. And we did his after party as well for the company I worked for. But they had me going interviewing people and stuff like that on camera. I was nervous out of my mind. It was one of my first times like really doing it like on that magnitude. And I remember trying to go up to Pusha T and to get an interview. Yeah, I forgot about you, Pusha T. Yeah. I forget about that.
Of all people, right?
Yeah. So I tried to go to him. He's like, yeah, talk to him. I'm like, all right, whatever. But no, he wasn't mean about it or anything like that. He just like kind of like, get out of here type of thing.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm here to party, basically. But it is what it is. I get it. I understand. I feel like there is a time and a place you should ask people for those. If someone is like not really wanting to be bothered, you can get the vibe that they want to be bothered. So don't keep trying to edge on and push and push and push. Just know when to say, all right, fall back, all right?
But the craziest part is, like, I actually, like, I've gotten to know some pretty well-known people. And the funny thing is there's several of them that have told me, like, it's kind of weird, like, when you walk into a room and people are just looking at you. Like, they want to talk to you, they want to say something, but they're just staring at you. And you kind of feel like you're, like the animal in the zoo, You're just like, I wish they would come up. Like, please come tell me what you want,
Yeah.
So otherwise, they're just standing there staring at you, and you start being like, do I look weird?
Who was it? Some celebrity. I forgot who it was. I think it was actually Ice Cube that said, he said, yeah, people come and ask me for a picture and they just walk off. I kind of want to have a conversation with them. Ask me how I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I could imagine you just like, I've always wondered what it feels like to be a celebrity.
Yeah.
And then you just people just want to say they saw you and not actually get to know you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That's
the social media world we live in. It's all about, and I was around this person and this person. Not people don't care the value that they have, just the status part of it.
Oh,
yeah.
And we got to get away from that. You got to get away from that. Like you living through Tinder swindler, perfect example. You got caught up in a lifestyle that he was portraying. You got caught up in that, and you didn't know the guy first. Us as a society, we got to stop that crap. And it's like mind blowing.
Oh, yeah.
Like a girl could look really good on Instagram, but be the most terrible person you've ever met in your life. But you're caught up because of what she looks like.
The inside of a car could be trashed.
Trust me, you see the inside of my car, bro.
Yeah, mine could use a little love right now, too.
All right.
Anyways.
So let's talk about this.
Yeah.
You got a book coming out. Talk to us about your book.
Oh, man. So it's called Going For It. And
I like that.
and underneath it's advice, wisdom, and Hail Mary moments from the stars. And it's got the foreword by Drew Pearson. And so I... Well, it's kind of that's the interesting thing about talking about it right now is because it just is now going through a little bit of a change because I interviewed like a few hundred celebrities for this, right? And then I was like, well, I could get to 500. Well, and then I could get to 700, and I got to 1,000 celebrities, and some of them I had quotes from before, but I just like during the corona, when I was stuck at home, I just started like reaching out to everybody, and I was doing several interviews a day, and everybody's sitting home doing nothing, so they're just like, yeah, sure, and they were relaxed, and they had these long, great, wonderful answers, and it kind of made the old answers, the real quick quips look not as good, but. So what it is 3 sections. One is advice, where what they would tell somebody else who wants to go in their path, and then the wisdom, like the things they've learned, like what and then the Hail Mary moment, which is our signature question on Drew Pearson's show, which is the moment in your life or career where you just have to go for it, and it worked out for you. And the common theme with all these people is none of them have like you can't be guaranteed to be famous, rich, possibly by good fortune or something, but famous, no, the people decide that, You can have $1 billion and people are like, I don't know about that guy. You know what I mean? But because I've seen people put millions and millions of dollars into here's our hot new artist, and people are just like, nah,
Yeah.
But all these people have something special to them, but the common denominator is that they just went for it. They just did it. They went, like, they used their last $20 to get to an audition instead of eating, or they slept on a friend's couch, or they borrowed money. You don't know how many people have gone through some real stuff. You know what I mean? Like there's people slept in their car. They're like homeless. They're about to kill themselves. Like it's crazy how much like, and I thought, man, this is something that people need to hear. And how it all happened is I had interviewed Hugh Jackman for an X-Men movie, right? And I was so excited because he went through his whole story, gave like these wonderful answers, and I saw the clip when we were doing the show on Fox Sports, and he goes, "Believe me, I wouldn't be in this." Because I was like, man, you got to give us some tips for like us regular guys so you're gonna get in the Wolverine shape. He goes, I wouldn't be in this Wolverine shape if I wasn't doing this movie. And X-Men opens on Friday. I was like, that's it? like what about the good stuff, And then it happened again and again and again. And I just started like, wow, I just put this stuff out myself. So I started typing up saying, who wants this? Because for X-Men, you interview the whole cast. You don't just interview Hugh Jackman. You interview Patrick Stewart. You interview, all the Michael Fassbender and all these big people. And they use like, so little of it. And it could be like one of those things like Kevin Hart and The Rock could have a movie together, and they use a clip of The Rock, and the Kevin Hart one just sits there, doesn't go anywhere. And I was like, man, this is terrible. I got to do. These people have so much to share, and so much that could mean something to somebody. And so I just started putting all this together, and it's crazy. Just how many. How much gold there is, And if you've seen any of these clips on, Instagram or like the quotes, like people love that stuff. They love the inspiration. They love to know that they're not such an alien in the world, that maybe I could do this too. Or if not, just to know that they're not the only ones struggling. So I just wanted to put it out there in the world. And so I got a big, I printed out the book. I was so proud. I was like, 1,000. Bam! It was like this huge textbook. I was like, oh no, this is too much. And so now I think we've cut it down into 3 separate books. So
Okay.
that's where we are right now.
Trilogy.
Yeah.
When do you anticipate being released? And
Well, that's the funny part is that it takes a whole lot longer. Like once I figure, all right, it's done. Now send it to the printer, right? Because
Right.
I come from like the magazine world, and that's what you do.
Yeah.
You hurry up and like let's get this thing out there. Oh no, it's like they have to. They have to proofread you, even though that's what I do.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I think it's pretty good. But all right, yeah, go ahead. And then they send it back, and then you make corrections, and they send it back again, and then they send you a copy of the book, and then they have to lay it out. Then they send you an actual physical one of here's how it might look. There's so many things in the process, but it should be in about 3 months now.
Okay.
So almost done. But yeah, I'm excited because it's just, man. I just I also around that time I got hit by a drunk driver and an sideswiped by an 18-wheeler. Came out without a scratch both times, and I just thought,
well, that's a blessing.
something I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's this,
Gotcha.
but I just thought, if I died, those words would have died with me.
Yeah.
All this great stuff that could be shared with the world. So I went crazy trying to finish it, and I sent it to my friend. I go, if something happens to me, please put this out. So at least I know it's it's coming out.
Nice.
It's like Allstate. It's a safe hands.
Yeah, here you go.
Okay, so say for instance, someone has met you
Yeah.
and they have a misunderstanding about you. What do you think something that someone would misunderstand about you?
Oh gosh, people misunderstand me all the time. Because and part of it is my fault. We show kind of what we want to show on Instagram. I show nothing about my family. I have the most wonderful family. And I've great friends. I just kind of leave them out of it just because people are weird.
Yeah.
I start messaging, like put my dad on there. People friend them like, no, leave my dad alone. I start messaging people, and I just kind of it's surface level stuff, And so people, I think they think that I do nothing but, fly around the world and hang out with models and celebrities, and that's not true at all, I love being with my family, and I have a daughter that means the absolute world to me, and and her brother, just it's the greatest things in the world. And a lot of people meet me and they go, well, if I would have known this, I would have liked you a whole lot better. I'd be like, what do you mean? and I'm not like some independently wealthy, like multimillionaire that's like a plane or whatever. I sure have friends with planes, but they're friends with planes, and and they don't always invite me. I'm flying. I don't even fly first class either. And so I think that people think that I just have this this cushy life and no, I don't know, and it's just not true. And it's funny. I think a lot of people that have a spotlight that are like in the book, no matter if they're famous or not, they kind of have the same thing. It's like, oh well, must be nice in your heart. Well, like they struggle with the same things too. Some of them are the most insecure people you've ever met. And they don't ever think that they look good. It's like when you meet a girl and you're like, hey, you look great. And, no, I don't. You're just saying that. But, and it's hard for us to understand that. But yeah, I think people have a misconception all the time. I just have this fabulous jet-setting Playboy lifestyle.
Yeah.
And, oh no, there's a whole lot more. There's so much boring stuff that I do that doesn't, like I write corporate bios for people. You know what I mean? I write letters for CEOs, that can't, that or don't want to write their own letter. Just
Right.
Stuff that would not be that interesting to people. But yeah, it's like, oh, and so it makes it terrible on like my dating life. Because girls are like, oh, like. I work with the Dragonfly agency. Which direction is it? But, and we're around models all the time, and people, You know, girls would be like, "Oh yeah, but you and all your models, like all my models. What do you think? They just stand outside my door and wait to come and hang out?
They're
Like,
feeding me grapes or something?
that
Jesus.
sounds fantastic." Like, but that is just not true. But you know that's the thing. It's the, it's the perception that people have. So it's it's a blessing and a curse too. Because I've also gotten a lot of work by people being like, "Oh, this guy knows this person, this guy can do this." So, but yeah, there's always so many misconceptions,
Okay. So we know you got the book coming out.
Yeah.
You said about 3 months. Any other projects you're working on?
Yeah.
Anything else that's going to be coming out soon?
Yeah. So, oh gosh, there's always something. It's like there's always things that you're working on that you hope it works. Someone gave me a movie script that needed a lot of help that I'm trying to help with. I've never written a movie in my life, so I don't even know if this will happen or come out. I was just in my first movie. It's called 13 Tracks to Frighten Agatha Black, and like a haunted record.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I play Mr. Black. Well,
congratulations on that.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm just really in the beginning of it.
Yeah.
And then my character dies. But
Oh.
but it's it's about Agatha, the daughter.
Yeah.
So that's going to be really cool. And then still working with Drew on everything. In fact, like I said, after this, I'm going to the airport, and we're just always working on that. AMFM Magazine, which I do a lot of interviews for, is looking to go to print, which is funny. It's kind of going backwards to me, but also there's so few print magazines now that
Right.
why not? If
Why
someone
not?
wants to
Yeah.
do it.
Hey.
And gosh, what else? We're working on a lot of things for Critics' Choice Awards. We have several different award shows now, and I'm on like every board or committee that is possible, and it's really cool to see things branch out and getting like a lot of different kind of things. Like first is just the Critics' Choice Awards, then we have the Critics' Choice Documentary Awards, and now the Super Awards, the Real TV Awards, Celebration of Black Cinema. Celebration of Latinos. There's so many good things, and it's just that's like a full-time job in itself, So, yeah, I don't know. What else should I work on? You got anything?
I mean, you can save thousands of dollars by switching to Geico. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
That's what people work on.
Actually, I'm glad I have you guys here. Because I've been trying to reach you guys about your car's extended warranty.
Oh my God! You got it.
Oh Lord.
Okay.
No, but yeah, gosh, I'm always working on something. But that's it. That's again my blessing and curse. You can be like, you know what? I got can you work it? Yeah, of course. I say yes to everything, and then try and figure out how to time manage it later.
All
but
right.
I guess the big thing is the book or books now. So,
Books,
yeah.
yes. Okay. So what is it you want someone to take away from this interview? Someone that's watching this is like, hey, I want to be the next Paul. I want to do the things Paul do. What type of advice would you give them, and what do you want them to take away from this interview?
For a guy that came out of Hartsville, Pennsylvania, which you'd never heard of, no one famous has ever come out of there or probably ever will. Just this little tiny town, and just by trial and error, mostly error, found a way to be in front of the biggest people in the world, and just by, I don't say never taking no for an answer, because it's but all just keep getting back up and dusting yourself off, and inside this book is everybody from like Tom Cruise to Nicolas Cage to The Rock to Kevin Hart to Metallica to Buzz Aldrin to Richard Branson to Mike Tyson to some of the biggest people in the world, like astronauts, authors, and all of that just came from me just wanting to be in front and trying to figure out how to do it. And I still do that, and now I wake up every day happy because every day I get to talk to somebody that's really cool and really interesting. And I think that anyone, if I can do it, anyone can do it. I have no real, like that broadcasting class is about the extent of my formal training. The rest of it has just been, how do I do
Hands-on.
this? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'd say like anyone could do it, you know, and this is also the best time that you can do it because then, you know, I mean, even when I started doing TV, there's only a couple of stations and I was like, oh, well, we've already got CBS doing this for us. But now it's like, there's so many podcasts, there's, you know, you can make your own show. There's YouTube. There's people that are just big on social media, and they get like great opportunities too. So, you know, there's no reason why there's not room for everything. You know, and I hope that you know, I hope they'll check out the book and you know, like I said, not feel like such an alien in the world.
Yeah.
You know, because all these people have had struggles. So it doesn't matter if you want to do what I do or not, or if you would rather, you know, be an athlete or a, you know, musician or astronaut. And all these people have just such cool stories of how they, you know, saw someone on TV or, you know, thought like, man, I want to do that, you know, and they just figured out how to. So it's kind of like, I want to say anything's really kind of possible.
Nice. Yeah,
You
just
know?
keep grinding. Just keep grinding.
I hate to say anything's possible because
Yeah.
I could not go play for the Cowboys.
Do it!
Yeah.
Yes, you can! Just do it! Dream of success while you're gonna wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible.
Shia LaBeouf, thank you for those motivational words.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, there's
Yeah.
there's so much good stuff. In fact, do you have 57 seconds?
I have 57 seconds.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. So Mark Wahlberg was just in town, and he said something that I got to play for you. That is, I'll put it up to the mic here.
Okay.
But that hasn't come out yet, and I'm real excited about it because, you know, the things that this gives you an idea of what this is not going to be in the book because, you know, it's done. But this is the kind of stuff that people pass along that I think, you know, can actually mean something to somebody, you know? And so check this out. This is
my success to my focus on my faith. Yeah. You know, everything that's been good in my life has come after I kind of got on my knees and made a deal with God and really started to work to be a better person. And the things that I wanted in life, like a great woman and all those things, they didn't come to me until I was prepared and deserving of those things. You know, but hopefully people will start looking at good. There's not enough good examples out there. You know, a lot of people have a tendency to look at the cool guy on the gram, you know, that's got the car and the plane and the jewels and the girls and you know, who knows whether that's real or not, but that doesn't give you real fulfillment, you know. At the end of the day, those things don't make you happy. Finding joy in your heart and working on being the best person you can be and having people find inspiration in that's pretty special. So I'm continuing to work on that. That feels a lot better than any of the other success that I've had.
there you go.
Man, that's great. That's awesome.
And that's the kind of stuff that I get out of people every single day. So, you know, so right now, I guess I'm trying to find other avenues for that too, because it's really, there's just, you know, I'm only one person, but I've got like a ton of output. So yeah, I mean, that's the kind of stuff that you'll read about and see because, you know, and sometimes it's just those reminders, like the
Yeah.
affirmations that you have that's important to somebody. Like you don't know when somebody's going to listen to that and that's going to be like, you know, the thing where they're like, okay, you know what? Yeah, I am loved. You know, I do know who loves me. You know, so and you know if that's, you know, we can affect one person like that, then you know
It's worth it. It's
left,
worth it.
yeah, left the world a better place than we found it. So that's what I'm trying to do.
That's awesome, man. This has been such an amazing time sitting here talking with you, man. I've learned so much. I mean, really entertaining, man. You're a great person, man. Rock, what you got for me?
Man, once again, I do appreciate you coming and stopping by, man. It definitely is a privilege. Some of your statue coming and stopping by, you know, it was awesome. So definitely was blessed by your presence and then also those great words. And man, you got so much knowledge, and we're definitely glad that you're here.
Oh,
So,
thank you so much. Yeah, I'll share with you one version of the book at least, and so you could check it out and see what you think.
Man.
And if
Yeah.
there's anything that you want to share with people, please do.
Oh, for
You
sure,
know?
for sure.
That's what I want. I wanted to get out there in the world. This is not the words for me. That's for everybody.
And remind people where they can find
Oh, yeah.
stuff out about you, your social medias, websites, any of that. Tell all those people where they can find you at.
Yeah, so I'm at paulsalfen.com, which is SALFEN.com. And then I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Just about everything under just my name, under Paul Salfen. It's very boring, but easy to find me.
All right. And so we're going to end you off on a positive note.
Yes.
But before, make sure you're still going to RayRacePodcast.com, YouTube.com, subscribe. Shout out to our man Perry Young, our photographer, the best photographer in the world right now. Find him on Instagram, p.mans_. He's doing some amazing work, guys. So go check him out. And, we just want to leave you with some positive notes, all right? Say, I will boss up financially. I will boss up physically. I will boss up spiritually. I will boss up mentally. Invest in yourself. This is your boy Ray.
And Ray.
Another edition of Ray's podcast with our man Paul, and we're out of here.
Hey, get money all day, get money all night.